And on top of our news tonight, doctors at Atomic Hospital have to put in extra hours to attend to increased cases at the facility following the ongoing doctor strike.
Daily outpatient cases have increased from 250 to over 300 cases with only 3 doctors to manage.
The Atomic Hospital is a secondary healthcare provider for residents in and around Domikwabenya, Hacho, Ashoman, Amasaman, Adenta and environs. It has become an alternative for people who are denied access to health care in most hospitals where doctors have joined the strike. Baba and his brother Kofi Amangobe visited the hospital on Wednesday after being sent away from the Rich Hospital.
We went to the Rich Hospital on Monday. There was no doctor. We came here today and my brother has received treatment.
This is not peculiar to them. Irene is also a victim.
I usually go to the Achimota hospital, but due to the strike, my sister brought me here since there are no doctors there.
Over the last 2 weeks, the situation at the OPD had reportedly been enormous. Cases have risen from 250 daily to 350 and more. But these cases are being managed by only 3 doctors and 15 nurses, 6 of whom are at the maternity unit.
The facility closes around 8 p.m. That's official time for closing. As late as 10 p.m., we still have some nurses and doctors still attending to clients.
The antenatal and postnatal units are also under pressure. Infrastructure is also a challenge. Work on a 30-bed ward under construction has slowed due to inadequate funding. Though the hospital has intentions to extend operations from 12 to 24 hours, human resource remains a major obstacle to realization of this goal.
How can we start operating a 24-hour service with this number of staff? It's really going to be a challenge. But then we've made some requests and we are hoping that the right authorities would respond to our requests and satisfy our staffing needs for us.
Overwhelming cases beyond their control are sometimes referred to the police or 37 military hospitals. Meanwhile, the central OPD of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has been closed to new cases. The hospital reportedly turns away new patients, but the ones on admissions complain they are not receiving any good medical treatment. Some vital services have to be assessed outside the hospital.
Those of us on admission are receiving treatment, but other sections are not working. We have to go out for scan.
The doctor's strike is in its 3rd week.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations has directed heads of public hospitals nationwide to take a head count of doctors on duty to calculate their salaries.
The Sector Minister Haruna Idrisu says he is hoping the heads of the hospitals will complete the head count by the end of this week.
Already, negotiations between the 2 feeding parties have reached a deadlock. Striking doctors have described the government proposal as the worst, aimed at undermining their interest. Almost 3 weeks since the doctors declared a strike on their conditions of service, government is yet to reach an understanding with them. The striking doctors have scheduled a meeting for Friday, August 14, to decide on their mass resignation. The Minister of Employment has again described the strike as illegal and has directed heads of public hospitals to take head count of the doctors to calculate their salaries.
No, we've directed that heads of institutions and agencies must take a roll call of persons who are at work and working, and those who are unable to come to work attributable to strike action. We intend to fully enforce the provisions of the Labour Act. The directive have been given, so I expect that they will compile the data and share it with us and with the Ministry of Health, and will take consequential action.
However, the Deputy General Secretary of ICU, Morgan Ayawin, has impressed on government not to withhold the salaries of the striking doctors.
If you embark on an action which is legal, can you say that you're going to stop the payment of salaries? No. So we must sit down and then look at it. Let us determine whether this action is illegal or not illegal. And the only institution that has the adjudication power to determine is the National Labour Commission.
The sector minister, Haruna Idrisu, again called for negotiations to resume.
We've worked on a 12-chapter document which was championed and chaired by the GMA. We only are in contention on Chapter 4, which deals with remuneration and allowances payable. It means that we are in harmony with them, with the rest of the chapter, and we remain committed to signing it with them. Accordingly, we'll ask them to call off the illegal strike action, or they must be prepared to pay the ultimate price for wanting to continue to be on strike.
In another development, the national tripartite has indicated that it would conclude negotiations on the minimum wage and base pay by September 30.
And the National Executive Council of the Ghana Medical Association says it will meet the General Assembly on August 14 before it can review the strike action. A communique issued in Koforidua regretted bad faith shown by government in the negotiation processes.
The council noted government's use of propaganda and entrenched position in what it described as changing goalposts did not help matters, resulting in the abrupt end of negotiations on August 9 on the 14 House officers who were released at the Techiman Holy Family Hospital. The National Executive Council condemned it and deemed it as intimidation and infringement on the rights of the health personnel as enshrined in the Labour Act 651.
The statement said the association would not hesitate to bring its full force to bear on such institutions that initiate such actions, describing it as an inferior tactic. It, however, called on its members to remain calm and steadfast.
And still staying on the same subject matter, President John Dramani Mahama has reiterated the illegality of the doctor strike, saying their strike is against laid-down procedures in the labor laws of the country.
Speaking on a state-run Unique FM, President Mahama added his voice to the many calls on the doctors to return to the hospitals while negotiations continue.
Nobody must die because of an illegal strike. The strike is illegal, absolutely illegal. Let's look at the factors. Doctors ask for conditions of service. Of course, all workers need conditions of service. It's not like it existed and we took it away. It's the first time it's being introduced. It takes a process of negotiation to put those conditions of service in place. Even before the negotiation has ended, the GMA has taken several months to draw up their conditions of service. And then they give it to government and say, here are our demands for conditions of service. We give you up to 29th. If you don't grant it, we're going on strike. And they start a strike. Even when negotiations are taking place, the labor law says that nobody should negotiate under duress. And that is what has led us to where we've always come back to. Somebody says, oh, doctors, just give it to them. But their linkages have come to learn in the whole relativity of our pay structure. Doctors are linked to health workers, and it's not on doctors alone who are in the business of giving health to people. You have the nurses, you have the midwives, you have the x-ray technicians, you have the laboratory technicians, you have the pharmacists, you even have the cleaners. When blood drops on the ground, that cleaner who takes the mop and knows how to disinfect it and clean it in a safe manner is contributing to healthcare. We cannot single out one group of the health workers and accede to those demands. Then what of the midwives? What of the pharmacists? What of the other people? And then even when you get out of healthcare, what of the engineers? What of the architects? And so it's not as simple as it is. It's not about 2,800 doctors. It's about another 5,900 and something who are waiting to see what the linkages are and say, okay, you give doctors this, all right. We too are demanding this. And they can also go on strike.
But people are dying, Your Excellency.
We're taking remedial action. We're asking the doctors to go back. And I'm saying they should go back while we continue the negotiations.